In a simple village, high in the mountains of Guadalcanal, people like you and me struggle to give their children a better education. But the humid Solomon's climate has taken its toll on Valasi's temporary school facilities, which are now well beyond their use-by date and unsafe. After months of planning, a team of 17 volunteers makes the arduous journey to one of the most isolated communities in the world to help them build a new school. This is their story.
So we're here at Brisbane International Airport, about to hop on to a Virgin flight to Honiara. I'm pretty buggered because I've been going since about 10 o'clock past night, but the crew are slowly coming in, and yeah, we can't wait to get on.
It's nowhere near mine.
Hi guys.
The team and I have arrived in Honiara, which is the capital of the Solomons. It's only a short 3-hour flight from Brisbane, but we've still got a day's journey ahead of us.
Hey, the guys are all here. Good to have the team here. They've all arrived. We're just loading up on the Adra truck now. But yeah, we're ready to head off on our big adventure.
Honiara is a growing city with a population of 72,000, with people flooding in from rural parts of the Solomons looking for work. Statistics state that 20% of youth are unemployed, and many locals rely on subsistence and rural agricultural farming and bringing surplus crops to sell at the main Honiara market.
I've already drunk it though, I need another one.
Yeah? How good are they?
I just need 5 of them.
Yeah?
Then I have to carry them, so you know. It's about 9:30 at night. We're getting ready to cast off. And as you can see, we've been setting up in the background here for our sleeping arrangements. Not a whole lot of opportunity to be by yourself as we spend the night here. So we've got to get used to everybody's sights and sounds and smells and everything else. But it's certainly an adventurous part, the beginning of a grand adventure.
We've just travelled through the night on the Adra boat around to the southeast side of the island. Waking up to this beautiful natural scenery was enough to get nearly everyone excited for the next leg of the journey.
It's not a good start for me. I don't like the rocking feeling.
Oh,
Yeah.
Our first breakfast in this beautiful part of the world.
Solomon sugar banana, something to die for.
So we're here. We've arrived at the jump-off point. This is base camp, so to speak. And yeah, from here the hard work starts. Up until this point, it's been fun, it's been exciting. But now we've got to trek way back into those mountains, and the challenges really begin. I'm a bit worried about some of our team, to be honest. Not all of us are as fit as we could be. And not all of our team are used to roughing it. We've got a few members of our team that had a pretty cushy life up until this point. So we'll see how they go and how they rise to the challenges.
Got his shoe back.
After several hours on the shoe, I had no idea. I just felt pain in my foot.
We're a little bit just past halfway, and we are in the most beautiful, pristine wilderness that I've experienced in my lifetime. It's warm, the water's warm, it's fresh, it's the most amazing place that I've been for a very, very long time. And so we're very privileged to be here, but we do have a long way to go. The track looks about like that. We've been walking up the river, and when we're not walking up the river, we've been walking through mud, as in deep, squishy mud that goes right into your shoes. But that's all part of the adventure. Everybody's fit and healthy. That's the main thing. We're all having a good time. We've just arrived here at Valasi. We've settled in, had a chance to clean ourselves up a little bit, and we've just arrived here now for the official welcome, and it looks like they've put on something very, very special for us indeed. And so, yeah, we're waiting for it with keen anticipation.
As you stay among us, we wish for you. Happy days at Valasi.
We were honoured to have the chief of the area give us a special welcome and highlight to all of us just how important the project was to the community, and also how blessed they felt to have us work with them.
That's it. Okay, we're done. Thank you.
Was this supposed to last for the whole time we're here? Surely not, because there's not enough if they're wanting 5 now.
Maybe that's a really good thick so serving per package 4, but that's just for energy rate.
We're about to head off for breakfast Sabbath morning. Had a very relaxed night and a really good sleep last night, eh? I think we were all pretty fried and slept like logs, so that was good. And yeah, we're heading down to the lower village. You can see there's an upper village and then there's a lower village down here. And we just noticed that the villagers have decided to put in a handrail for us, so a bit of OH&S will be nice for getting up and down between the two villages. And hopefully no one's going to slip over and fall on the track down.
It's very different. It's very smoky, so and it's quite hot in here. But it's an experience. I think these women are amazing that they can cook for their families, and they have such large families, so they do really well.
Pretty good. Could probably get used to eating this.
He lived in the jungles for like 30 years.
I think it's pretty good.
That's very good.
Just can't take my hand off it.
Red and yellow, black and white, they are precious in His sight. Jesus loves the little children of the world.
Nalava tawa nando tawa bani pasava na. Mame chawa nandai no leho. Pakaniam no tata masia taiga. Lau taiga na wa.
This is a part of the city, the great city. This is the city gate of Babylon that Nebuchadnezzar built. How many of you this morning want to be the friend of Jesus? You want to be the friend of Jesus? Praise God. Let's pray. Well, we've gathered together for Sabbath lunch, and Becca's put together, and her team, an amazing meal for us of rice and pomelo And we had church this morning. We had some wonderful singing with the locals here. They put on 3 special items for us, playing the guitar and singing. We taught them some new songs. They seemed to really enjoy that, have a lot of good time. And Christiana took the devotion, I took the sermon. And it was definitely a unique experience. I've never preached in a church with a completely dirt floor and just leaf roof over my head, wooden benches in front. But I certainly had an attentive audience, and so it was a wonderful opportunity. One of the challenges that we've had is we brought a solar panel and inverter and a very small DC data projector, and they just love the pictures that we've got on the data projector. We showed a Beyond DVD last night. They really enjoyed that. The challenge is that our battery's not really long enough and we're not getting enough sunlight. You can probably tell it's raining outside right now. And so the battery's giving us about 1 hour. We've figured that at the max with the projector. And we need some sunlight so we can recharge that battery, else we're just not going to be able to use the projector. We're going to try and jerry-rig a few other solar panels together to try and see if we can fix the problem. So, yeah, that's one of the challenges we've got.
After a much-needed day of Sabbath rest, the team leaders met to discuss the building plans. It's our first day of building this morning, and so you can see we've got some progress happening down here. It's good to see everybody busily working like a stream of ants. They're carrying timbers all the way across to the building site. They're starting to get the floor down, cutting timbers to size. We've had some rain already. The guys have been working in the rain, and it looks like we'll be working in the rain every day. That's what the forecast is, but I guess that's part of the adventure of being here and just dealing with whatever Mother Nature throws at us. The good thing is that while it's raining, you get wet, but you dry off pretty quickly as soon as the sun comes out. And so it's not that big of a hindrance. It's not like it's freezing or anything. But we certainly, we have such a beautiful environment in which to work. This has got to be by far the most picturesque building site that I have ever worked on. The camera will never do justice to the beauty of the area that we are in here at Valasi. And it's just such a privilege to work with these local people here. They are just such beautiful people. We've been really enjoying getting to know them, getting to worship with them, sharing their services, and to get to, to understand, just the kind of people they are. So yeah, it's our first day of construction. Things have got off to a good start, and we are encouraged and excited for a good week ahead.
Really nice stuff, beautiful hardwood, strong as. But at the same time, look how this stuff cuts, just like butter.
So here we are, we're at Valasi. We've spent the first morning putting down the floorboards. Thankfully my team's winning, so we're going pretty well. We're a bit short on boards though, because Shane's team have messed up and they've used the boards around the wrong way. So now we're going well, and Lyle's just ringing up Laurie to get the timber cutters to come back and get us some more boards. Otherwise, we've had a great morning. We've put down some floor on both of the shelters, and we're going really well.
And when you want the truth, come and let us know.
Just getting the floor in, and we'll start on the frame, I guess. That's everyone else's plan.
Just need to measure it off.
One piece.
Hard work. That's good. We have a good team.
Well, we've come to the end of our first day of work. We're all feeling rather tired. We've worked very, very hard today. The team's put in a huge effort. And as you can see out behind me, work has been progressing quite significantly on the 2 buildings that we're putting up. On one of the buildings, we've almost completed the floor. On the second building, we've got most of the frames, the top plates, bottom plates have all been cut and laid out. So the frames are ready to go together first thing tomorrow. The other project that we're looking at doing tomorrow is laying out all of the roof trusses, getting that done. We've had some major delays. We're short on timber. The timber cutter let us down, and for all the timber that he cut, he got paid for it, but he cut enough timber for about 1 floor and for about 2, maybe 3 walls out of the 8 walls at the most. we've made contact via our satellite phone, and hopefully we can get that whole situation remedied further on this week. You can notice over here also that during the day today, the local people here, the villagers, came and built a brand new kitchen for our cook, Beck, to cook in. And so that means that she's got lots of space, her own space, to be able to work and to set up. It's been so wonderful how they have just done everything that they can to try and help us. They put in a handrail here the other day and stairs running down the hill here because they could see that we're not quite as nimble on the mountainsides as what they are. But they've certainly put in 110%. And so as we come to the end of this day, we're all feeling rather tired. It's now time to go and stand under the cold water tap and have a shower, because that's how we do it up here, and get cleaned up for this evening's program.
Rainbow shines through my window, my God loves you.
We've brought a few supplies here for the school. We wish we could have brought more, and we will definitely bring more in the future. But it's remarkable to see all of the school children gathering together here in the morning. They're meeting in a schoolhouse that has a dirt floor, it has a leaf roof, it has wooden planks sawn by a chainsaw for the benches, and that's all. They have no paper, they have no books, they really have nothing but a blackboard, and the teacher has been up here and he's been teaching these children, and they are very well educated indeed. And so we've brought just a limited amount of supplies. In just a few moments we're going to hand them over to the school, and hopefully in the future we can send some more supplies up, particularly once we get our new school buildings over here. Once we get those up and they've got a proper classroom to be able to meet in, we'll be able to send up some more practical and useful things as well. So we're looking forward to seeing the reaction of the teacher and the students when we give them the gifts that we have.
Find these to be useful. We wish we could bring more. Maybe in the future we can bring more. But we have some workbooks, which I'm sure that your teacher will find very practical. So put those over here. And Lyndon, what have you got there?
I think these are some Sabbath school lessons. And these are a lot of pencils, coloured pencils too. So yeah.
Jason, what have you got there?
I've got some soccer balls, so you can run around and kick these and play.
Don't kick them over the cliff. And Christiana, what do you have?
Many different Bible stories and the memory verse next to it, underneath it. So, yeah.
It's now day 2 of our working day, our second day of work. And as you can see right behind me right here, we have the last nails going into the floor of this first building. Of course, the second building doesn't have a floor because you ran out of timber, and we're hoping that the timber cutters will come back tomorrow. Over here on this side, you can see the roof trusses being laid out. We're using the flat floor as a platform on which to lay out the very first roof truss. So once we get all of the trusses done, we'll put those aside, we'll come back, we'll do the frames, we can stand the frames up, put the trusses on top. So that's what our project will be for the next couple of days. It's been we've had a good start to the day. You can see we've got bright sunshine here, which is very nice. It rained all night, so we had the wonderful experience of being able to sleep with rain just pounding on the roof, tropical downpour, lightning flashing around. It was really quite spectacular. Of course, today is a school day, and so over here we have the school that has begun. There are 3 classes in process right now, from prep through to year 4. And they've just divided the schoolroom in half, so half of the students face one direction, half of the students face another direction, and then the prepper is in a little grass hut by itself. It's absolutely staggering to see the children coming to school this morning. As they're climbing up the mountainside, I'm thinking to myself, these children to arrive at school this morning have crossed flooded rivers, because that river is flooding down there right now. It was probably at least this deep on them as they crossed the rivers. They've climbed numerous mountains that when we came up them, we were literally climbing up on our hands and feet to be able to get up there. They've carried their equipment, they've
they've kept it dry, they've brought it through here. Even in the rain, it was raining as they were walking in this morning. And come school time, here they all are coming up the hill and getting ready to start school. So it's really quite a different world. I sat down and had a chat with my son. You know, he has he walks to school, which is about 2 kilometres, and it's just along a nice paved road. And, you know, sometimes his brother complains a little bit like, oh, it's cold or it's frosty or something like this. And I'm thinking, you know, these kids have walked for an hour through the jungle to be here. We just do not understand the value that they place on their education. It is really quite, it is just phenomenal to see it taking place. So what we have here is the first roof truss being put together. Now the community is building this roof truss for us. That creates a pattern that we can then copy. Over on the other building, we've got our team, they're putting their roof trusses together, and they're using this as a pattern. They're learning from our local people here exactly how the most effective way of building these trusses is. And these are very powerfully strong trusses, as you can see. This is all hardwood and much stronger than what we would ever use in Australia. The good thing with that is we don't have to make as many of them. They don't have to be as close together. And so 4 big trusses will do this building quite fine. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon of day 2 of the building, and you'll notice that right here behind us that the first wall is up, and so this is exciting. We've got the second wall framed up here ready to stand up. So 1 wall up, we've got all of the roof trusses over here are done for this building. We've had a lot of help on this building with the locals. Over on the other building, we've been doing this one entirely ourselves, and so we're a little bit slower than they are, but we're making good progress. Calvin's leading up that section over there and doing an excellent job, and so he'll be able to start framing up soon. But it's exciting to see a wall go up, and that's what we came here for. Well, it's the beginning of day 3 of work, and it seems that our team is starting to get a little slack. I'm not sure whether they didn't have a good sleep last night. It certainly rained very hard during the night. They've all slept in. It's worship time now. I think they got up about 15 minutes ago. They're supposed to get up 45 minutes ago so they can have all of their washing and everything else taken care of before worship time. So yeah, maybe we're gonna have to crack the whip a little bit tomorrow morning and whip these guys back into line. They're starting to slack off.
Oh, just putting the water through the filter thing. Supposedly you can drink it from the tap, which I think we've pretty well all done, but we're still doing this as well. Not quite sure why. Anyway, we feel good for doing it. That's the main thing.
There's good news. It's our 3rd day of work, and we've got the last wall of the second house that's about to go up. So that's very encouraging, making good progress so far. We are starting to get a little bit behind schedule, which is starting to concern me just a tad. We do have to finish this before we leave in a few days' time, and the woodcutter has only just arrived to finish cutting the wood for all of the cladding to go on the outside of the building. Not only that, but we don't have the floor done for the first building. We really need to have the roof trusses up on the second building by now, and it would be great to have, we were planning to be able to at least start putting iron on the roof of this one here this afternoon. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. It took us a bit longer to put up the scaffolding to be able to do the work than what we were expecting, and so that has held us up some. But now that we've got them up there, then, you know, as you can see, things are starting to progress here, and hopefully we can stay on schedule. We really need to get these buildings finished before we leave. When we came up here to Valasi, one of the things that we brought with us was a soccer ball. We didn't know whether the kids here had ever seen one before, and I guess it's the first soccer ball ever to come to Valasi. but it took them all of about 30 seconds to figure out what to do with it. It never ceases to amaze me how they managed to roar around here on all of this gravel. Look how hard that gravel is, in their bare feet playing soccer, but nothing's going to stop these kids. So maybe I should go and see if I can keep up with them.
We're doing a romantic night for our lovely Jason and Claire because it's their anniversary. So have a look down the table. We've got some pretty special. We're having a fluffy rice with some of the native greens, with pumpkin seeds, black beans, and for dessert we're having Milo custard with papaya on the side.
Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary to you. Hooray! Hooray! Hooray!
Thanks, guys. You guys do so much effort.
Yeah.
This is the best
Really
anniversary
lovely,
we've ever had.
Yeah, definitely, by far.
Are you going to eat with us? Because that'll be nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so
We'll
much.
never forget it. All right, lovely, honey. Thank you.
Planning your future can be a daunting task. What you want to do, who you want to be, and the road ahead can often be unpredictable. No one really knows what the future holds. That's just part of what makes it all so amazing. And that's why a great education matters. Because it doesn't just help you get a great job, it helps you prepare for what life can throw at you and live a great life. Avondale, it's education designed for life.
About getting ready to head up now. This is actually the most dangerous job in the whole project that we've done so far. Lots of people have been killed in logging accidents, and with an ancient chainsaw like that and no OH&S, it's going to be, they're going to have to be careful all day. So I've just been having a talk with the fellas from our team and letting them know that be really careful today, and should be good fun for them.
Someone's been working so hard that the hammers just don't keep up.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a scrape, so I found some of the local miracle herbs to heal it up a bit quicker. Seeing how it works at the moment.
You can see if you look at the building here behind me right now, it doesn't look a whole lot different than what it looked at this time yesterday. Now, a lot of work has taken place. A lot of the fiddly work has taken place. We've got a whole bunch of boards that have been cut in preparation for putting the cladding on. However, we really wanted to have the metal on this roof today. Now, we've got the bracing done. We're starting to run the chicken wire in preparation for the isolation. But not having the metal on this roof, we're really starting to feel the pressure now. Over on the second roof, there's been good progress today. They started with just 4 walls. And if you look at that one now, you can see that there is, the roof truss is up, the purlins are up, they're just finishing those off now. And so they've made excellent progress. We're very happy with that. In fact, they're starting to catch up with these guys. It'll be interesting to see whether Calvin's team can overtake Shane's team over here. So that's the goal for Calvin tomorrow, is to see if he can catch up with these guys. Having said that, we could really do with an extra day at this stage. We don't have an extra day that we can make up. And so we need to have a good day's work to get ourselves a little bit further ahead than what we are. Well, as you can see, the first sheet of roofing iron has gone up, so that's good news. The bad news is that we were planning to have at least 1 sheet up last night before we finished, and it's now 10 o'clock in the morning the next day, day 5 of work, and we're just getting the first sheet up. So yeah, we need to pick up the pace here somewhere on the line. We've got 5 working days left, and as you can see, we have a lot to get done in just 5 days, so the pressure is now really on.
All the way down?
Hi, today we're doing the weather in Valasi. So it's a blue sky, partly cloudy, and 100% tropical.
Sweat factor?
Sweat factor of?
150%.
Well, as you can see behind me, there's lots of banging and hammering going on. The roof is going on the first of the 2 buildings here, and that's a good thing. We're getting towards the end of day 5. The challenge is that I would really have liked to have seen this roof on at least by lunchtime, if not yesterday, and we still haven't finished. There is, however, a milkshake that has been wagered on this roof as to whether it will be finished today or not. And that will largely depend on those storm clouds that are rising behind us right there. You can see that it could downpour with a tropical storm at any moment. And so these guys, they're working as hard and as fast as they can to try and get this roof finished. The problem is, while we've been focusing on this roof and getting this one finished, we've also got walls on either end now, so we've got somewhere shady to work, which is nice. It's meant that this building has basically been neglected. You can see right now that there's nobody actually working on that building right there. And so we need to have a roof on this one by now as well. It's day 5 of our work days. We're starting to run out of time. And I know we've been under this pressure for a couple of days now, but we really need to have a good solid day on this building at least to try and get it up to scratch in preparation for being finished at the end of this project. So what we're doing here is making a window frame. I've got this really beautiful timber to work with, but having said that, it's been a while since I've made a window frame. And while it's been a long time since I've made a window frame, it's been a very long time indeed since I've made a window frame where I've had to dress my own timber myself. We have 8 of these to make, and that means I've got 16 of these boards to make, which are the top and bottoms. And then there's another 3 windows that actually go in here. So we've got a lot of work for this little tool to do. Don't know how we'll go, but we'll get there one bit at a time. We've come to the end of day 6 of building.
and it's very encouraging. It's good to see the roof nearly finished on the second of the two buildings. A lot of the wall has gone into the first building, and a number of the window frames have been started. We are still significantly behind schedule, and we're concerned about that. One of the other encouraging things was to see some timber coming up from the river. So down below us, where the timber is being cut, probably about, maybe 500 feet below here, straight down the side of the mountain, the timber cutter has been cutting timber, and the ladies have been carrying it up. It's interesting to see the ladies doing that work, carrying it up on their shoulders. They're doing a job there that we can't do because we just do not have the strength for it, but no problem for them. They don't even blink. They just throw that timber over their shoulders and up the side of that cliff that they go. And so that's pretty much where we're up to. We're finishing off a little early today, this being Friday and this being an Adventist village. Everything finishes a little early here in preparation for the Sabbath. And so we'll be gathering together this evening for a special worship service to invite the Sabbath in. One of the things that's held us back a little bit today is that the heavy week of work is starting to take its toll on some of the team members. We've got one down with a very nasty boil, and quite concerned about him because we need to walk out on these feet, and it's a 6-hour walk out or 7-hour walk out. He's been hobbling around here today, not sure how he's going to go. Thankfully, the nurse has been really doctoring him up all day. He's got a thick charcoal pad on it, so we hope that that heals up quickly. We've got another patient who's been wiped out with constipation. Not much fun, feeling pretty sick, pretty ill, and a couple of other of our team members that just seem to have flaked. I'm not quite sure why, but it has been a very hard and intense week, and we're looking forward to a day off tomorrow. So tomorrow, being the Sabbath, is a day of worship, and so we're very much looking forward to taking a break, having a relax, and simply spending time worshipping God. We've gathered here together this morning. We've got a day off to relax and recuperate. We've gathered here together on the Sabbath day, this being an Adventist village. This is where they've come together here to worship in the schoolhouse. Of course, this schoolhouse here will be replaced by the schoolhouses that we're building very soon. This one won't be used anymore, but this is what's been used up here for many years now. And it's going to be a very special privilege to be able to worship with our friends as we spend this time together. We have something very special today. 2 days before we arrived, there was a baby born right here in the village. And we were asked whether we could name the baby. And so a couple of nights ago, we gathered together and had a meeting right here in the schoolhouse, just us as a team. And we discussed the name for the baby. We've come up with a name for the baby, and today we're going to have a dedication service, and we're going to announce the name for this little baby. So something very, very special. We're really looking forward to it. It's going to be a wonderful part of the service.
When the saints go marching in.
We've come to the end of the Sabbath now, and this is the second Sabbath that we've had here. It's been a very quiet and relaxing day. We've all had opportunity to just kick back and to relax in our own way. Some of us have gone down to the river. I spent some time down at the river and just cooled off in the water down there. It was absolutely spectacular scenery, most beautiful place. And you know, it's interesting because I was talking to my boy, just commenting on how the children here, they have nothing, and yet they're so happy. I mean, these are children that have no toys at all, and yet they are laughing, they are smiling, they're having fun all the time. And my boy said to me, "What do you mean they have nothing?" He said, "Look around you." He said, "These kids have everything. We don't have anything like this back in Sydney." It was a real eye-opener. The baby dedication went really nicely. It was a very special experience. I've never had a baby dedication before where we have actually chosen the name. It was nice to be able to choose the name for the baby and then prepare the presentation based around that name, to present it and to spend some time with the parents as they actually found out what the name was that we had chosen for their child. I've had AYs this afternoon, and a number of our team have been involved in running the AY program. The kids here, they love to get involved in AYs and just to really enjoy everything that comes by, everything that takes place. They just soak up whatever's taking place. And that's been just really wonderful. And as you can see now, the sun is going down, it's setting, the Sabbath is about to come to an end. We'll have prayer here in a few minutes, light the cooking fire, and we're all ready and recharged to get back into a couple of days solid work. It's been a good morning this morning. We were very worried, particularly last working day, last night, that the chainsaw wasn't running. And without the chainsaw running, we would have been out of timber, out of material by about lunchtime today. Thankfully, we've got Jason with us, and he's a bit of an expert when it comes to small engines and large engines and all kinds of engines. Jason, what was it that turned out to be the problem in the end?
Okay, so the insulation around the spark plug lead.
Okay.
It was cut in a few places, and it was actually arcing out on the body of the chainsaw.
Yeah.
And once we taped that up, it went like a new one.
Ran fine.
Yeah.
Now, this is a very old chainsaw. Has it got much life left in it?
It's got a lot of life left in it. It almost ripped my hand off when I was trying to pull start it, so I had to put a bit more energy into it.
Now, the spark lead that you're talking about, what was it made out of?
A piece of housing wire.
Okay.
So the new one, the old one's obviously somewhere
long
gone, and he's just made it out of something that he's found around the house.
Yep.
And which has obviously been working fine for a long time, and now
but not designed for that particular application.
Not designed for that particular application.
Bound to break down
at all.
sooner or later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now it's got a bit of insulation around it. Should go for a bit longer and get him out of trouble.
When we get back to Honiara, we'll see if we can grab him a real one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Good. Oh, looks like we'll have some timber to keep us going here for the rest of this day. And as soon as we can get that chainsaw running, we should have some timber coming up from the river again. And yeah, looking forward to a good day. It's nice and cool today, so it looks like we're not going to get fried in the sun like we have on other days, which should be really nice.
Is where the 18.
Right. We're using the greenest timber that I've ever used. This has literally come straight off the chainsaw, straight up the mountain, straight onto the floor. This was a living tree 2 days ago, and now it's part of our floor, so it doesn't come any greener than that.
Just started on the very first coat of paint, the window frames, and it's a white undercoat. Special times.
I'm trying to be
So we've had some reasonable progress today, which has been good for a change. We've had good progress every day, it's just that you can't always see it. But if you look behind me right now, you can see that the window frames are in the one building, which is really good to see. The paint is going on, and that really makes them stand out. So when we do something that we can actually see some progress, it always makes such a difference. The other building we've been putting the floor in, a little bit harder putting the floor in after the walls are up, but the progress has been going very well. Now we've been putting that floor in as it's been coming up from the river, from the chainsaw. And so at one stage there, they were asking me, well, where is the rest of the floorboards? And I said, they're still growing. And they literally were still growing. And we cut the tree down and we sawed them off and they carried them up and we nailed them down just like that. And so we're working with green timber, but that's appropriate for the kind of project that we have here. At the moment down at the river, they're cutting boards for the walls, the cladding. We've run out of cladding completely, and thankfully we're able to get the chainsaw started today. We were worried about not getting that running. If we hadn't got the chainsaw started, we would have run out of work to do by lunchtime today. However, the chainsaw's up and running, and now that he's cut all of the floorboards, the next project that he's going to cut is the cladding, the boards for the walls. And we've got enough boards there for 2 walls. We've got 2 walls done, and we now need to do the rest of those walls. And so that's the next big project that's coming up, and we're looking forward to another good, solid day's work tomorrow.
Morning.
This little girl's name is Florence, and Florence has travelled 5 hours to come to this little clinic because she was chopping coconuts and she missed the coconut and got herself. So this happened a couple of weeks ago, and this is looking better than it was. It was all that raw area was full of yellow green pus. And if she'd have stayed at home, because all of her thumb was also very swollen, in fact you can still see it's quite swollen, but it's coming down. If she was to stay at home, this infection, if it didn't heal, would just, eventually she would become septic and she wouldn't live to tell the tale. So her mum's gone home and she's staying down the village with some other people so she can come up every day, twice a day, to have her thumb dressed. And she likes to have vitamin C's, monovitamins. They're good? Good. So this is Caleb. Caleb is the school teacher here and he does everything. So when we were coming up with our backpacks, he was carrying some of our backpacks for us. And for the last week or so, he'd been carrying wood. And he'd managed to get a boil on his shoulder. And carrying our backpack was the last straw and managed to burst that boil. So for the last week or so, we've been treating the boil. It was rather deep, as you'll see from the footage, but it was quite a deep hole there and was full of nasty looking exudate. And so we've been treating it each day, and now we're gonna have a look and see how we're going. Just one more day to go before we leave. As you can see, it's very small now, very small. There's only a small amount of exudate in there. In another couple of days, that will be closed. No infection, no pain around here. Feels well, right as rain. Good old charcoal patches. So we're really happy that we could be here and help out with stuff like this, especially for Caleb who works so hard.
Well, it's now our second last day of work, and I'm here with one of our small friends, and you might be wondering how all of these wall boards, the cladding, has been carried up the side of the cliff over here in preparation to go on the building. And these right here are the little guys who've been doing it, and they've been just climbing up the side of that cliff on small toe holds the whole way with those planks over their shoulders. I don't know how they do it. I know that I certainly couldn't get up that steep hill with a plank on my shoulder, but these little guys, doesn't seem to bother them at all. Today has been a busy day. We actually ran out of timber in the middle of the day. That was a bit of a problem, but on the plus side, it did give us an opportunity to head down to the creek. We went down there, we had a wonderful swim for a couple of hours, and by the time we finished our swim, there was a whole pile of boards ready to be carried up, and the little guys, they got stuck into it. So they were carrying them up. They're being cut in the valley. They're being nailed up here. So pretty much they were a tree this morning. They were a wall this afternoon. That's the rate that this building is going up. We're under a lot of pressure. We've got one more day of work left. And as you can see, there's a lot of work here left to go. We are trying to get this one finished. And hopefully we can get that one, the schoolhouse, completely finished, even if the dormitory isn't entirely finished by the time that we leave. And so we'll be working very hard as long as we can this evening, and then of course again tomorrow.
The sun has just set and the last of the iron roofing has just arrived. They're just opening it up, planning it out, and another man is bringing up another piece, and this is going to go on our roof, and we're very happy about that.
As you can see, it's our second last day of work, and fortunately we brought with us a solar system that we can use for lighting, and we've been able to install that now today. In fact, they're just in the process of installing that now, and so it looks like the work will continue under lights. As you know, we are under pressure to get this job finished, and now we're able to have some light that we can work by, so who knows how long we'll be able to get through tonight.
That's exhausting. Oh, there's a pile of wood down the bottom of the hill there. If you've seen the hill, it's a bit of a distance. Quite steep, so I'm thankful that's my last one for the day.
Well, I'm sitting here in the old classroom this morning, and we've come down to our last day of work. And today we're really hoping that we'll be able to get these two classrooms at least functional. We're not going to be able to finish them entirely because we've had a lack of timber, but the woodcutter got up very early this morning. In fact, he headed down there while it was still dark. He hasn't had any breakfast, and he's just cutting wood as fast as he can. And so we're hoping to get a lot done today in the short amount of time that we have. Today is a very critical day as far as getting that accomplished. And while we're coming to our last day, in many ways we're really starting to feel sad. We've made a lot of friends here. The children have been wonderful. There's a lot of people here that we're really going to miss. And so it'll be sad to leave here. At the same time, there's some things that we're looking forward to about getting home. And we're starting to talk about the things of home again and catching up with our family and our friends, and even eating some Western food for a change will be nice. And so that's our day for today.
Finished the roof. Well, at least for as many nails as we have.
Did we run out?
Yeah, we ran out of nails, no problem.
Yeah, we're all done. All the sheeting's on the roof. We're just waiting on a few more nails to put in to hold it down a bit more securely. And then we don't have to come up here again, it's all done.
Should we leave this one behind?
I don't know, a plane came from a submarine. It was like a submarine cut.
We are currently getting ourselves ready to head down to worship, which is at our finished, almost, classroom that we've just built. So coming on sunset, we've got a couple of games to play, plenty of cameras for photos, and we'll see you down there.
He loved God with all of his heart. These are two people who have worked very hard to establish this school. And so this building we have called Sue Robinson Hall. I think most of you know Laurie Quintal.
Okay, Laurie Quintal.
And so we've called that building Laurie Quintal Hall.
I am a community. We give thanks for you, team. You came here for wrong way because of us. You came to save us in a way that we need.
We are so glad to appreciate you, your immediate team, for your work here. And this is little, but we say thank you very much for what you have done to us.
Thank you. Thank you. Very much. It will be with great sadness. I think there will be some who might even cry a little as we leave you, because we have learned to love you very much. One thing I should say about the team. I've never told the team this before,
When I arrived in Taniara, the ADRA director, Angela, she took me aside and she said to me, you need to understand that what you are doing in Valasi will be the most difficult fly and build ever attempted. And so for the team that has come, I say congratulations for what God has done right here. Because we've come here with very little skills. We are a media team, but look how God has blessed. God bless everybody. We look forward to seeing you again soon, if not here, in heaven. There it is. It was the last nail of the whole project. About to go in. Sure hope I don't bend this one. Last nail is right there on the Sue Robinson Hall. Now, time to go home. Thank you, Corey. Okay. All right, team. Let's go. Thank you.
After 2 weeks of hard work, our teams leave behind 2 new safe school buildings and a community of lifelong friends. There's a real sense that God has blessed our mega effort, and we're all excited that the children of Valasi have a positive future ahead of them. But the work's not finished and the fundraising is ongoing to continue to support this growing community.